dry air in place as well.
All right, thanks, Steph. Well, in today's Weatherwise, we've partnered with Native to share some easy tips for keeping your skin feeling fresh and balanced. When humidity levels rise, your skin can start to feel sticky and uncomfortable. So staying hydrated, choosing a refreshing cleanse, and even adjusting your shower routine can help keep your skin fabulous this season. So let's take a look at this week's Skin Health Report. We talk a lot about, humidity, the dew points out there, and wow, have we seen some changes in the southeast over the past 24 hours, particularly in the Carolinas, down through Georgia, even into northern Florida. You'll notice an increase in the humidity in parts of Texas, and that goes, double as we go to the second half of the week, and we see more storms focus around our front. This is a spot that we've seen the big changes. We go from what is, your classic Florida soupy feel outside to all of a sudden, what month is this? You might be questioning that the next 2 days as we see that drier air in place. Oklahoma City, though, this feels a lot more like summertime with those more uncomfortable dew points that are in the upper 60s and lower 70s. How about Chicago? You have a beautiful next 24 hours where we've had some really nice weather, but now we're at the point that we could use some rain again in Chicago. We're already in the second half of the week, technically, I guess. But when we get into the later half of the week, let's say that. But we have some work still to do in parts of Texas, despite the fact that the pattern has been a lot different for the month of May. Dallas is still running a very small rainfall deficit, year-to-date rainfall, as well as Lubbock. But you see areas like Corpus Christi and Houston. Houston has been a spot that we've eliminated the drought, and we have seen a lot of problems with flooding, and that's going to be a spot we have to watch again. Rainfall through tomorrow, I think most of us, it is going to be manageable, and you look at the drought and then the rainfall comparison, it's actually falling exactly where we need it, with one exception. Some of these areas where we could see 3 to 5 inches of rain, it's going to be very isolated, but could be falling on, some flood-prone areas anyways. You know the drill around the Houston area. Very quickly can see some of those flash flood warnings. We've seen flash flood warnings this morning, a number of them across the I-20 corridor there. Areas around Odessa have flash flood warning that's been going on for a while now. This goes until 8 a.m. This also includes Midland, Texas. I-20 corridor travels. Just be really careful this morning as the rain continues to fall, but we're kind of at the back edge of this rain. Then we stay relatively quiet for areas around Midland and Odessa for next couple of hours. While this activity fires up, could be causing some flash flooding, and then western Texas comes back into play, and we could even see that continue through tomorrow morning. Hurricane season is just getting started, and when a storm is barreling towards the coast, every minute counts for evacuations. But what happens when a hurricane rapidly intensifies in those last hours before landfall? Let's take a look at the race to understand nearshore rapid intensification and what it means for your family's safety plan.
More rainy and flood threat than severe, if you will. If I can put it that way.
We still need the rain. It's a little too much rain. That's been the theme. Yeah, for some. Meanwhile, oh my goodness. I can't get enough of this front. That is Raleigh, where temperature changes for most of us in the southern tier have been dramatic, and they will continue to be that way with that feel outside that is just much nicer than what it has been the past couple of days, even the past couple of weeks with that very kind of rainy pattern that took over. It kept things very humid for a couple of weeks. 65 there in Atlanta right now, 76 in Jacksonville. You can easily find the front when you look at the dew points, and you can see the rain, too, so that's kind of a giveaway as well. But the front sitting across central Florida right now, behind that, you have that cooler and drier air. We have lower dew points in Charleston than we do in Atlanta right now. That's how impressive this front has been in moderating the air mass, which you don't always see this time of year with fronts. We can still get fronts that move across the south, but they don't do a whole lot to the air mass in the summertime. But this one is different. So we will continue to see some changes. Tallahassee tomorrow morning, you will feel some pretty dramatic changes walking out the door with those dew points in the 40s and 50s there across northern Florida. Yeah, that's a real treat for this time of year. We will see the moisture rebound by the weekend. And so even though some of us are still going to stay a little bit cooler with the cloud cover and rain in place, the drier air does not have a lot of staying power, as you would guess this time of year. Atlanta, it's going to feel very nice today. This is kind of a day where it's like breakfast outside, lunch outside, dinner outside, go for a long walk, really soak it up. Jacksonville's a similar story there. Not quite as dry as what we're seeing in Atlanta, but that's par for the course. You're a little bit farther to the south. Today, we've got temperatures in the 80s. Even tomorrow, we will see some lower 80s in northern Florida, and that is below average. But heading towards the weekend, some changes are in store. Low pressure sitting just off the coast. And so if you have plans to go out and really enjoy some of this nicer weather in the Outer Banks of North Carolina, along coastal South Carolina, down into coastal Georgia, there are some spots where we have a high risk of rip currents that extends down into Florida. That entity sitting just offshore, also churning up some pretty rough surf, in addition to some stronger winds there. With the strongest winds, Outer Banks of North Carolina, that starts to lift away. High pressure takes over by the weekend. But even with high pressure, you can still have that risk of rip currents. Steph, it is something that we've seen for the past couple of weeks, and we will for the remainder of the summer.
This high pressure, is that the one that you are?